Hey, what's happening guys? This is Shukesh and today I'm gonna do a very interesting speed test in between these two smartphones here. On my left I have the all new Nokia 3 and the price of this device is 9,500 rupees, that is approximately 150 US dollars, and this is actually the first Nokia with Android in India. On my right hand I have the Xiaomi Redmi 4 and it's priced at just 9,000 rupees, that is $140, and this is the 3GB RAM variant with 32GB storage. Now there is also another version with 7,000 rupees price tag and with 2GB of RAM just like the Nokia 3 here, but I have chosen this version because the price is very close. As you can see on the benchmarks, Redmi 4 actually scores more than 50% of the Nokia 3 and the 3D score of Nokia 3 is actually quite poor. Now the screen size and the resolution of these two devices are the same, and it's worth mentioning that Nokia 3 is running on Android Nougat 7.0 whereas Redmi 4 is still at 6.0.1, that is Marshmallow. So this is one of the biggest cons of Xiaomi smartphones. They are not up to date most of the time, and as I just mentioned, I have the 3GB RAM variant with 32GB storage whereas you get 2GB RAM on the Nokia 3. Now Redmi 4 is running on Snapdragon 435 with octa-core processor, whereas on the Nokia 3 you get a MediaTek quad-core processor. So for the price, Nokia 3 does not offer the best specs, but in certain areas this phone is actually quite good. For example, the front camera is 8 megapixel with autofocus. You are also getting the raw Android version without a single added software, and also the Android version is up to date. So this might help in the speed test. So let's get started with this test and check which smartphone offers smoothest user experience. I will start with the boot test. But of course, faster boot does not always mean faster device, but let's see which smartphone will be ready when you need them, and this will also kill the background applications. Now, though Redmi 4's display turned off almost instantly, the shutdown process is going on in the background, so we cannot really tell which device was faster. So let's quickly turn on the phones. Well, Redmi 4 is ready and the Nokia 3 is still booting. Well, Nokia 3 takes much longer time than usual to boot. Now both phones are ready, so I will first try some system and third-party applications and games, then I will check the RAM management. The screen swiping experience on the Nokia 3 is kind of slower compared to Redmi 4. The dialer definitely opened quicker on the Xiaomi smartphone. Next we have the messaging app, and once again Redmi 4 is the winner. Let's now check the gallery applications, and once again Redmi smartphone is much quicker than the Nokia 3 here. We also have the cameras, and once again Redmi 4 is much faster. Next let's check YouTube, and once again Redmi 4 is the quicker one. Here we also have the Play Store, and once again the Xiaomi smartphone is the winner. So the Snapdragon 435 is making this phone blazing fast, and the MediaTek processor on the Nokia 3 is actually not up to the mark, I will say. Let's quickly check few more third-party applications. As usual, Redmi 4 is quicker. Nokia 3 is once again slower than the Redmi smartphone. Not even a single application is opening quicker on the Nokia 3. It's actually slower than I expected. With raw Android it could be faster, I think. Let me check few more applications before I check the games. Once again Redmi 4 is the winner. We also have the Amazon application. Well, this time it was very close. Here I also have some Photoshop applications. So let's start with Photoshop Fix. As usual, the Xiaomi smartphone is much faster than the Nokia one. We have 3 more Adobe apps. This is the Photoshop Mix, and once again the Xiaomi smartphone is the winner. Nokia 3 is taking really long time to load this application. So if you need performance, then Nokia 3 might not be a great choice, but for multimedia like the cameras or dedicated SD card slot, the software updates, the brand, you can go for the Nokia 3. It's not for gamers or heavy users. Well, interestingly, Nokia 3 opened the Adobe Lightroom quicker than Redmi Note 4. But overall, in this speed test so far, the Redmi Note 4 is the sheer winner. It's blazing fast, and for the price, it's a more value for money device. Though Nokia 3 is slow, I did not encounter any type of hanging or freezing issue, and overall Nokia 3 is not a bad phone, it's just lower than the Redmi 4. Now it's time for the gaming, so let's start with Temple Run 2. Well, as expected, Redmi 4 is also loading games before the Nokia 3, though the Nokia 3 had to download some configuration at the start, but still Redmi 4 is much faster. Next we have the Subway Surfers as well. Well, Nokia 3 starts every application with a blank screen. Definitely Redmi 4 is gonna win this test as well. There you go, it's ready on the Redmi 4 and Nokia 3 is still loading. Next, let's also try some hardcore games, though we know the result. There is a white screen on the Nokia 3 and now a blank screen, so this phone is damn slow. There you go, Redmi 4 is ready and Nokia 3 needs much more time. Well, it's also ready. Now, since there are lots of applications running in the background, the home button response of the Nokia 3 is getting very slow. Let's open a few more games before we check the RAM management. Redmi 4 is really very fast. As usual, Redmi 4 is ready and Nokia 3 is on the way. I hope that Nokia will somewhat fix these lagging issues through OTA updates. I really expected a Snapdragon processor on this Nokia smartphone. They are back in business and they need to rebuild their brand image. In fact, Xiaomi is releasing Snapdragon devices in India, so to survive the market, Nokia needs to be very careful. I really don't expect Nokia to compete with Xiaomi. Nokia falls into the premium category like Samsung. Nokia 3 also offers a better camera and premium features like NFC. Such lag on the interface is not acceptable at all. Now, it's obviously not fair to do a RAM management comparison since I have the 3GB RAM variant of Redmi 4. Let's check few apps before we conclude this video. There we have the galleries, so well, it's on the RAM of Redmi 4 and Nokia 3 is reloading. Well, I'm actually quite surprised. With just 3GB of RAM, Redmi 4 is showing really amazing RAM capabilities. Let's try a few more apps. There we have the CNET application, so let's open it. It's reloading on both devices. Let's actually check an older application, and once again the messaging application is still in the RAM of the Redmi 4 and Nokia 3 is reloading all the apps. Let me now check Photoshop Lightroom and it's reloading on both smartphones. It's the only application that Nokia 3 opens before Redmi 4. Now what about the games? Let's see. Well, Redmi 4 still has it in the memory and Nokia 3 is reloading as expected. So definitely Redmi 4 offers much better RAM management capabilities than this Nokia smartphone here. This is the last application I'm gonna try, and well, this application is still running in the background of Nokia 3, so this is eating up most of the RAM, and we can say 2GB RAM on the Nokia 3 is also not enough. So we are at the end of this speed and RAM management test. The Xiaomi Redmi 4 is the sheer winner. Nokia 3 excels in the multimedia department, but in performance, in gaming or in the battery department, it's not even close to the Redmi smartphone here. So think twice before you buy any of these devices. A detailed review of Nokia 3 is also on the way, so make sure you are subscribed. You can check the description below for more interesting videos on Nokia 3 and other similar devices. That's all for now guys. Thanks a lot for watching. This is Shukesh signing off. Have a nice day guys.